AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yep.
It's hump day.
It's a day that ends in Y.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
So another Saints player is hurt.
Hump day.
First, it was Brian Brzee.
It's hump day.
ACL.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Then it was Kendre Miller.
Hump day.
Back.
It's hump day.
Sure, somebody had a toe.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Can't go through camp without a toe.
Hump day.
And then it was Dylan Radens, Radens, Radunes.
It's hump day.
Rip.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
But he didn't die.
Hump day.
His 2026 season. Rip to his 2026 season.
It's hump day.
And then Cam Jordan.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
And then Jordan Tyson for 2 months.
Day.
And now Alvin Kamara's got a knee.
It's hump day.
He's out for a month.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Stop practicing
Hump day.
immediately.
It's hump day.
LSU practice last night.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Saw a lot in 12 minutes.
Hump day.
Can't wait to dish it all for you.
It's hump day.
Ross Jackson will be here.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Muse is back.
Hump day.
Muse people thought you got fired.
It's hump day.
No, just a little last vacation before football season.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Going to the beach during fall camp is an aggressive play.
Hump day.
What do you mean?
Officially
hump day.
starting a new policy for no more vacations once fall camp starts. For anybody.
Mike.
That's
What
why
day is
you've
it, Mike?
got May, June, and July.
Hump day.
I went on vacation in June.
But Muse didn't get fired.
It's hump day.
He just went to the beach while we all worked really hard.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It was great, too,
I bet it was. All right, let's get cranking here. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
This Saints training camp sucks. It sucks a lot. It can't end soon enough. Get everybody back from Oxnard, put them all in bubble wrap, and just go sit in the indoor until week 1 against Detroit. I mean, this is stupid. We've already seen Brian Brzee tear his ACL. We've seen Dylan Radens tear his ACL. Kendre Miller's finally back, although he's been down with a back injury. Cam Jordan's out, maybe might linger into the season, as Kellen Moore told us. Jordan Tyson's going to miss 2 months, and now we learn Alvin Kamara is out with a knee injury. This camp cannot end soon enough. And a lot of the luster is being wiped off. The shine is fading with every passing day and all these injuries. And it's not that Alvin Kamara is the key to the Saints offense in 2026. Clearly, that's not the case. I mean, that's why they went and paid Travis Etienne $54 million, because they recognized Alvin Kamara is an aging, declining back. That's why they went through the whole contract situation with Kamara. He had 471 yards a season ago. He had career lows in attempts and yards per carry and touchdowns and all of it. So I'm not telling you you're relying on Alvin Kamara. But every time you lose somebody, everybody else has to move up a chair. So I like Audric Estime. Played in 7 games for you a year ago. And down the stretch, actually looked pretty good. He averaged almost 4.5 yards a carry. First preseason game against Jacksonville, first touch after the 86-yard kickoff return. He bounced it outside of the left, got in the end zone. I think Audric Estime is a good back. But I really like Audric Estime when he's battling with other guys, with Ty Chandler, with Devin Neal, when he's battling with those guys, Kendre Miller to be the number 3. I don't like him so much when you tell me he's got to be the Robin to Travis Etienne's Batman. But that's what happens when everybody has to move up a chair here. I mean, there's another conversation, baked into this about Alvin Kamara, which, I mean, this just is at this point what Alvin Kamara is. I'm not blaming him for a knee injury, but it's just an undeniable thing. Alvin Kamara hasn't played a full season since his first season in the NFL. Played 11 games last year. He missed 6 games a season ago. He missed 3 games at the end of 2024. He missed 4 games in 2023. Missed a couple games in 2022. Missed 3 games in 2021. This is just what Alvin Kamara is. He's a guy that just hasn't shown the ability to stay healthy and play a full season. And so you need depth at running back. And I'm glad that they've added some veterans and maybe some young guys. We'll see if Devin Neal can stay healthy and maybe contribute. But every time you lose someone, it just moves everybody up a chair. So, it's the same we talked about with Jordan Tyson's injury. I can be really excited about Barrion Brown. But Barrion Brown, as a kick returner, punt returner, and your number 4 receiver, that's really enticing. Barrion Brown being your number 2, opposite Chris Olave, that raises a much bigger question mark. And I know there's a lot of people that want to sing Devon Vele's praises, and I hope he's awesome this year. But the bottom line is, Devon Vele had 1 game last year. It was the game against Miami where he had 8 catches. 1. In his first 9 games, he had 6 catches. I mean, there's not exactly a large sample size of Devon Vele being awesome. So my point is, just like Olave Tyson as a 1-2 was really intriguing, Kamara not having to shoulder the load and being the change of pace, the counterback to Travis Etienne was really intriguing. Now you remove Kamara for a month, and you start to wonder, okay, well, what else is there? Well, everybody's got to move up a chair. It's really disappointing. I mean, we got to remember, this is I came into this training camp really optimistic about this team. I think they're at their best. I think this team, the ceiling, they're a 9-win team that could win a bad division and host a playoff game, make the playoffs for the first time as a division champ since the COVID year. That's what I think is what this team is capable of at their best. We got to remember, they were number 9 in the NFL in total defense a year ago. But after that, the offense wasn't great. I mean, they were 23rd in total offense, 28th in scoring, 27th in rushing, and 13th in pass offense. So you have a long way to go to proving you're a top half of the NFL offense. Not an elite offense, a top half of the NFL offense. I mean, you were 23rd in total, 28th in scoring, 27th in rushing. You weren't good. I mean, even the game Shuck started when you won. I mean, the only games where you popped off were against the Jets and the Titans, where you scored 29 and 34 respectively. Against the Jets and the Titans. It's why they went and invested in this offense in the offseason. And now you're just kind of seeing a lot of that talent erode. Jalen Polk's retired. Jordan Tyson's hurt. Kamara's going to miss a month. Like, it takes its toll. Radens is out, so it hurts your depth on the offensive line. And we'll see if they go add pieces. They worked out a couple of wide receivers here on Wednesday out in L.A. We'll see if there's, maybe whenever the cuts come, on the 30th, and there's a whole wave of free agents, maybe there's opportunities for the Saints to add good veteran players that might be able to help elevate the team. But boy, it feels like a little bit of an emotional beatdown right now with every passing day with all these injuries. And I get it, man. It's a collision sport, and injuries are part of the game. But on a season that has carried a lot of expectation, this has been this gut punch after gut punch here the first couple of weeks of camp. Couple more preseason games to go. We'll see if the Saints can somehow make it through and not have any other sustained injuries. But Alvin Kamara, out a month. Whatever. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Bud Light. Show up in every day. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints. You're watching the Saints this Saturday out in L.A. against the Rams. Of course, make sure you do so with plenty of delicious ice-cold Bud Light in your hand at your favorite watering hole, maybe at your favorite restaurant. Ask for it by name. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints and the official beer of the LSU Tigers, where the officially licensed cans and 16-ounce aluminum bottles are available at great local retailers. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. Okay, y'all, it's after further review. Tigers have a walkthrough today, no media access. We did get to go watch our customary 12 minutes of practice on Tuesday night. So I was there. I'll tell you what I saw, a few takeaways. We'll dive into all of it as we continue. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Man, when it is 106 degrees outside, the only way to survive outside is by doing a swan dive or just wading into your own custom pool. Duplessis Pools makes that happen for Louisiana residents every single day. DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com. One more time, DuplessisPools.com. Hey, if you haven't done it yet, get to the website because they've updated the Pick Your Pool option to where now when you go to the website, hit Pick Your Pool on the homepage, you'll see a 3D model of the pool. And as you choose your features, the tiling, the coping, lights, a sun deck, if you want to add a water wall, any types of features like that, it'll build it out. Steps, bar stools in the water. Like, it'll build it out for you in 3D, and it'll change the price as well so you can see what you're paying if you want to customize the pool yourself. It's really cool. Go play around with it on the website, DuplessisPools.com. Online, DuplessisPools.com.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Tigers are back on the practice field on Tuesday evening. The media got our customary 12 minutes or so of watch time. And, there was a few notable things I always try to keep an eye on when we're out there. And look, just to be completely candid, when you're out there for 12 to 15 minutes, like, we're getting to watch individual drills. We're not getting to watch 7-on-7, 11-on-11. So there's a lot of things that there's things you'd probably want us to keep an eye on that we just don't actually get to see. So I kind of, I guess over the last 20 years, learned to train my eye on what to look for when you get a dozen or 15 minutes out there to watch. Certainly you keep an eye on who's there, who's not, who's in gold, no contact jerseys. So remember earlier in the week on Monday, Harlem Berry was not there. I was told Berry had a stomach bug on Monday. So he was back out there on Tuesday, but was not working out with the team. He was off to the side with a trainer. So nothing serious. We were just told he just had a stomach bug. So it was great to see Harlem Berry back. Jordan Ross remained absent with the defensive lineman. So that's back-to-back practices that he's missed. No explanation given. We'll get an opportunity to talk to Lane Kiffin on Thursday, although I don't suspect he's going to say anything because he isn't really keen on saying anything about these sorts of things. It was great to see that Jace Brown and Winnie Watkins were not in gold jerseys again. Jabari Mack continues to wear his gold no-contact jersey, as does Trey'Dez Green. And a new player in gold was DJ Pickett, wearing his number 5, was wearing gold. And I did ask and was told there was nothing wrong at all with TJ Pickett. This is just a strictly precautionary, just like Trey has Green. It's just one of those things where you cannot afford to lose that player, and so you just put him in gold and be like, nobody touched that guy. So that's sort of the good thing. Usually Hunt and I split the practice. He'll go watch offense and I'll go watch defense, and so we'll take our notes accordingly. And one thing I did find interesting, when we were out there, the defense started by doing a 4-spot circuit drill. So there were 4 different drills going on simultaneously. One was like a fumble recovery. One was like bending the edge and stripping the ball out of the quarterback's hand. One was getting your hands up and knocking the ball down. And one was like literally just stripping the football. One player was holding the ball and the other's like pulling the ball out as they're going to the ground. Actually posted video of this on my social media. If you want to check it out, you can see that drill, that strip drill where Chris Kiffin was working with the guys. And I thought this was so interesting because we got to watch this drill, like this circuit, which is very intentional. It's like stripping the ball, knocking the ball out of the quarterback's hands, batting the ball down, recovering fumbles, like very intentionally working on that component. And this was after Friday, Blake Baker talked specifically about generating more forced fumbles and fumble recoveries.
Yeah, rush and coverage works together. Again, I think we have a little more explosion off the edge. There were several times, again, when you look back at us last year, we have a great pass rush and maybe just weren't able to close and finish on the quarterback. But they definitely work together. Big point emphasis, in my opinion, I think we only had 4 or 5 fumble recoveries. So, if you're out there, you see us being a lot more proactive, coaching strips on the ball and punches at the ball and trying to increase that number. But definitely, the better the rush, usually the more interceptions you have. But some of those interceptions, the quarterback's got to make a decision, take the sack or throw the ball to us. So, again, those numbers sometimes can be a little bit misleading as well.
I thought it was so interesting, right? Where on Friday he's telling you like they're being very intentional about working on forced fumbles, and we got to see that on Tuesday evening. They forced 7 fumbles a year ago and only recovered 4. So, but Jordan said it was interesting because Blake Baker's defense, it thrives on. He loves the stat, the metric, the havoc rate. That's his intention. He wants to go make things really difficult on the quarterback by moving him off the spot, pressuring him, hitting him, creating havoc plays. And usually when you create havoc, good things are going to happen. They'll throw interceptions, they'll fumble the ball, you force an incompletion, you'll bat a ball down. That's sort of the intention. Well, LSU didn't get home a bunch last year. They didn't have a bunch of sacks or forced fumbles, but they were number 23 in the country in total defense. So they were very effective defense. They didn't stuff the stat sheet with some of those metrics. And that's clearly something they're looking to turn around. So staying with defense, as I mentioned, Jordan Ross was not there at edge, and interestingly enough, as I was walking off the field, I was at a corner of the practice field where the defensive tackles went from hitting the sled to going to work on a double team drill, and I heard Kevin People say, "All right, one's up," like he called the ones, and Deuce Gerald's walked up with Don McKinley. Now, I do not think Don McKinley is a starter. I think what is very clear, what is becoming clearer with every passing day, is Gerald and Richard Anderson. The opener is 2 weeks from Saturday, so a lot can still happen between now and then. But the last day of camp is this coming Friday. They scrimmage Saturday, and then school starts on Monday. So then you're getting ready for Clemson. So when that happens, not just at LSU, it's literally everywhere. You break camp, and then everything pairs down. It's no longer good on good. Now you are getting to work on your opponent, and you pare down reps to the guys that are going to play. It's no longer about getting everybody reps. It's about getting the guys ready to play who are going to play. So I would be stunned genuinely surprised if anyone other than Richard Anderson and Deuce Gerald took the first snap at defensive tackle against Clemson. I guess it could happen. A lot could happen this week, and who knows? Knock on wood, but injuries happen or whatever. But I think those guys will take the first snaps. I think what is also very clear is they are trying to get Blockton and McKinley and Green all ramped up to where those 5 are acting in a pretty consistent rotation so nobody gets overworked. Something else Blake Baker talked about last Friday when he talked to us about the freshmen was the freshman wall. and how those two young guys, and you throw Lamar Brown in it as well, are eventually going to hit that wall. So I like the situation at edge for Lamar Brown better than tackle for Geralds and Anderson. Brown doesn't have to go be a day one starter giving you 65 snaps a game. He's going to be a rotational guy who's going to give you reps and play meaningful snaps for you, but you're not counting on him to go be the starter and to be a freak show. You're counting on these other two guys. I think they're trying to ramp up the others as well, which is probably why we saw McKinley take some of those reps with the ones. I should have mentioned also on the offensive side, Malik Elzy was in gold as well on Tuesday night, but it really feels like that's just so they're just rotating maybe to get guys, to lessen the impact and the load that they're feeling out at practice by giving them sort of a quote-unquote off day. It feels like that's what's happening here. And the other thing we've now seen for back-to-back practices is Roman Mothershed working with the tight ends. Remember, Roman Mothershed, he's 6'8", 210, 6'5", 210, and the transfer receiver from Troy, and they're working him at tight end. And it kind of makes sense when you look at the big-bodied pass-catching tight ends with, of course, Trey-Dez, but remember they signed J.C. Anderson, who's a 6'7" freshman. You look at with Ahmad Hudson committed, that mold and that build that Lane wants at tight end. Well, Roman Mothershed kind of matches that, and he's also just buried on the depth chart at receiver. So maybe this is an opportunity to give you a little bit more depth among the pass catchers at tight end, where like a guy like Zach Grace is going to be your blocker. It's also worth noting J.D. LaFleur hadn't been out there the past couple of practices, so maybe that's adding another body on the tight end side as well. So a few things that we saw out there on at practice on Tuesday. I did spend a good bit of time kind of watching the offensive line as well. Nothing new to report. They're getting a lot of reps by splitting the practice where, James Craig will work with the left side of the line and Eric Wolford will work with the right side of the line. They were working on pull blocks and on screen plays where the linemen are getting out in space and blocking someone in space on the edge. So everyone's getting a bunch of reps, but it doesn't feel like there's really any more movement. I think your first five are set. It feels like Sean Tompkins, the Baylor transfer, is your swing tackle. I think there's a good battle going between William Satterwhite and Ryan Moret for who's going to be the second center. And then I think if you needed a backup guard where it's Harper or Sprinkle, Harper on the right, Sprinkle on the left, it'd probably be Harper either way, I think would be the next guy up. So just a few things to consider there as the Tigers worked out on Tuesday. So they did go, they had team periods Tuesday evening, and apparently all went well. So we'll be back out there on, we're supposed to have access Thursday morning for practice, and then Lane Kiffin and players are set to meet with reporters after practice on Thursday. So we'll have a good bit of access and a lot to report Thursday on AFR. Also, we're noting Ed Ogeron was absent again on Tuesday. So as we reported over at LouisianaSports.net, Coach O was not at the scrimmage on Saturday in Tiger Stadium, and then was not at practice Monday or Tuesday. So we'll see if he's back out there on Thursday when we have access. When I asked Lane about it on Monday, he said he wasn't feeling well, so they sent him home. So if we get an update, we'll certainly pass it along. But Coach O wasn't there again on Tuesday. All right, it's After Further Review. Glad you're with us here. We are brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com. They always got great deals and great specials going on over at Rouse's, like we talk about every Tuesday. There's the $5 Sushi Tuesdays over at Rouse's. But right now, I want to remind you, man, get set because starting tomorrow on the 20th, it's the 4-day sale over at Rouse's from the 20th through the 23rd. 4 days of can't-miss deals coming your way, again, starting on Thursday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 20th through the 23rd. If you're going to do your big-time grocery shopping or you're just looking for deals to stock the pantry or stock the fridge or maybe stock your freezer with some great meat, great opportunity to do it this Thursday through Sunday. It is Rouse's 4-day sale, August 20th through 23rd. Get all the deets at their Facebook page or online at Rouse's.com. Rouse's. This feels like home. All right, y'all. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Remember, you can always email us, tweet us, or text in the 225. It's 396-4400. That's my text line. You can always text the station as well at 499-1045, 499-1045. Save that number in your phone, 499-1045. I should mention as well that if you want breaking news updates from LouisianaSports.net, just text LSN, text those three letters, LSN, to 499-1045. You opt in, then whenever there's breaking news, boom, you'll get a text with that breaking news link sent straight to you. All right, it's After Further Review. Thanks for being here. Let me knock out a quick break. Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. When we come back, we'll go around the SEC. Also, we do have an LSU basketball update we'll get to here in about 15 minutes. Stay with us. It's AFR.
AFR.
I love telling you about the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. I was actually texting my buddy David Johnson over at Renaissance just a little bit ago. They are they're hosting a huge conference tonight over at Renaissance Baton Rouge. So it's a great reminder that if they're full to the gills tonight, but it's a great reminder that if it's a work conference that you're trying to hold, if it's an award banquet, if it's a fundraiser, any type of event you might looking to be hosting, Renaissance Baton Rouge is the perfect spot. I was actually told, Dave, I don't know if I can spill the beans on this yet. Let me not spill the beans on that. One of the local football teams will be spending Friday nights before home games at Renaissance Baton Rouge this year. Excited to tell you more about that when I get the green light and the okay. But remember, there's always a great opportunity to go eat at Tallulah. They do private dining events as well. If you want to have a private chef curated menu for a party, you can do that at Tallulah. Check it out. It's at Renaissance Baton Rouge. If you need a metal building, you want Proform Steel. ProformLA.com. 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 That's the website. Always encourage you to go to the website because right there at the top right, you'll see Request a Quote. And it's super easy. So whether you need a backyard shed or you need a big industrial-sized metal building, go to the website, fill out what you're looking for, and you will get a call same day from someone at Proform Steel that's going to give you that quote. Just real time. Proformla.com. So start at the website, hit Request a Quote at the top right. Proformla.com. Remember, all the materials made in the USA, and they give you faster lead times, in some instances 6 to 8 weeks faster, and free delivery on every building. You buy a metal building from Proform Steel, they will deliver it for free. Check them out, proformla.com.
After Further Review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
I mean, look, we need some more context as to how this happened. I mean, did somebody fall into him, that kind of thing.
I want to make it clear. I don't know that it has anything to do with that fight.
But it's hard. Look, I mean, the Saints right now, for a team that looks so promising, that could really be challenging in the South, to lose Tyson and now lose him.
Right.
I mean,
that's brutal.
Just not good.
That's a team a lot of people love, and I know it hurts you to your core because of your love for Tyler Shuck.
That's Tyler
and
Shuck
obviously
Riddick,
that's not so good.
That's Louis Riddick, who's on Get Up talking about the Saints losing Alvin Kamara. It just sucks. I mean, it's like I can say it, and some of you can call me a hater. Some of you do, but nothing could be further from the truth. I love the Saints. It's just that's the reality of it. Like, you keep losing players. It thins out your depth. And with so much excitement around this team as a potential playoff team for the first time since the COVID year, every time you lose a player like this, it gets a little more ambiguous. Now, I will say, specifically, if you want the positive spin, what I would say for Kamara and for Jordan Tyson, I'm expecting the Saints to start 0-2. They start at Detroit and at the Ravens. I don't think they're going to win either of those games. So if you have Alvin Kamara back in a month, in theory, he'd be back after those first two games, which I don't think you're going to win anyway. I would love to see them win. I would be pleasantly surprised if they did. And maybe, look, Baltimore, rough year last year. I mean, it's still Lamar Jackson, new coach there in Baltimore. So, we'll see. Detroit feels like they're going to be a wrecking ball this year, just on a mission after a very disappointing season a year ago. That's a really tough place to go open the season. I guess all that to say, with or without Kamara, the Saints are still going to be underdogs in both of those two games. So maybe after that, when you come home for that 3-game stretch of very winnable games, maybe that's the benefit there. That with or without Kamara, you don't think you're going to win those games. The trickier part, I think, is the Saints. I'm going to say this, like, as you look at how they build out the schedule, I think you got to win those 3 games, weeks 3, 4, 5. Because if you drop your first 2, and we all know the percentages of teams that start 0-3 and then 0-4, like what the opportunity is to make the playoffs, just astronomically against you. But you're home against the Raiders in week 3. You're home against the Falcons in week 4. That's the Monday Night Football game. And then you're home. 20 years Katrina, and then you are, or the reopening of the Dome, I should say, and then you're home in Week 5 against Minnesota. And maybe Minnesota's a really good team this year, or maybe it's Kyler Murray and they stink, which is more likely the case. So I like the Saints to start 3-2, and maybe with or without Jordan Tyson and Alvin Kamara, that would be their record anyway. I don't know that anything's altered. Like their win totals probabilities haven't been altered based on that. So if you're looking for the positive spin, that's it. But yeah, man, it sucks. Ross Jackson's going to be with us at the top of hour number 3. He's out there in L.A. with the Saints. Had a walkthrough today after a really chippy practice a day ago. By the way, that's something Tyler Shuck talked about, was just how physical that practice got. I think we showed you the video, the German suplex that Rex Steiner threw on one of those poor Cowboy players.
We were competing the whole time. We were getting after it. I think that you felt the juice. I was going out there, talking crap to the guys, talking a bunch. We were out there competing every single down, and that's what we want. But we also have to manage the ebbs and flows of the game too, and that it felt that way. And I think we were able to really get some good work in.
Has to manage the juice. Hey, if you're managing juice, would you rather manage orange, apple, pineapple, grapefruit, tangerine, grape?
Pineapple or apple. For me, I'd like to manage.
Apple juice, huh?
Big apple juice guy.
6 years old?
Big apple juice guy, man. Although,
Paul, when was the last time you drank apple juice, Paul?
Probably a week ago.
Oh.
Opal.
Oh, you got it. That's right.
Big apple juice guy.
He's not a big apple juice guy. He has a toddler.
Doesn't mean he has to drink it.
I mean, okay, the parent tax is a real thing, okay? Like if Opal has apple juice sitting right there and she leaves her little juice box with like 3 sips left, guess what my guy's doing? He's grabbing that juice box and he's finishing it off. You paid for that thing. You ain't throwing it in the trash. Am I right, Paulie? Is that what happened?
100%.
Or did you just grab a juice box out the fridge?
No.
Thank you.
I totally would have.
I know you would have, because you're apparently 6 years old.
Apple juice is good. Why do you have to have an age limit on drinking apple juice? It's tasty.
Twitter poll. How old is too old to drink apple juice? Or something like, we got to word it something like that. At what age should you stop drinking apple juice?
What are our options?
I don't know. Just create a range. Okay. Or text me, or email me, or tweet me. You can text 225-396-4400, 396-4400, or the show text line at 499-1045. Muse is a 30-something-year-old man
32.
who still drinks apple juice. Which, Paul, when did you stop drinking apple juice? Like going to the store and buying? So you go to the store and you buy apple juice to keep in your refrigerator?
No, I don't. I'm just saying I like apple juice a lot. The last time I had apple juice was probably a month ago.
Okay, so you have bought apple juice as an
No,
adult.
it was at a 1-year-old's birthday party, actually. But I sought it out. I was like, hey, can I have one of these?
My guy keeps proving my point. It's a 1-year-old's birthday party drinking apple juice.
I don't keep juice, though.
But
I like juice. I love a good glass of orange juice with breakfast.
Yeah, orange juice.
Or apple.
Appropriate for adults.
Or apple juice with breakfast.
Apple juice? Children box little apple juice drink.
No, you just get the
Nope.
thing of like, they got a bunch of brands.
So you're going to get crushed on this one, Muse, because there's no adult that goes willingly and buys apple juice for themselves.
I'm doing it next time.
A very, very microscopic percentage of the population. Home use. Hey, we're brought to you by Parish Construction and Roofing. ParishBuilt.com, ParishBuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing. It rains darn near every day because it's that time of year. Got issues with your roof? We'd love to help you out. Commercial, residential, repairs, replacements. We also do gutters and soft wash. I want to remind you, you should have your home soft wash probably like twice a year. Just before Drew's birthday party, we did that. We had Parish come out, soft wash the whole house. Hardscape, home, roof. You can do the whole thing. We even soft wash commercial buildings. Like we just soft washed Mike the Tiger's cage with the tiger in there. That was crazy. Like they used the soft wash gun. They were just spraying Mike with the soft wash gun. Not really. That's not a real thing. Come on. They don't let you in there with the tiger in there.
Not unless you're properly trained.
No, nobody gets to go in there with the tiger. Come on.
Vet.
That's way too. No. Not even the vet. They make sure that dude is unconscious.
There you go.
When people are in there. Anyway, ParishBuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing. Okay, let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Auburn Tigers.
Auburn lost one of its young players up front on Wednesday. Alex Golish announced sophomore edge rusher J.J. Falk underwent surgery. He's expected to miss the season. 24/7 first reported that he injured his collarbone in practice. Four-star recruit, was a freshman in 2025, didn't play much a year ago, just 3 games. He's the brother of former Auburn first-rounder Keldrick Falk, who's in the mix for a big role this year, but he's done for the season.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Cole Spear. Kirby Smart updated Cole Spear stats. UGA Sports initially reported that Spear was going to be rejoining Georgia for a 5th year because of the recent Colorado ruling. Well, Kirby Smart clarified. He said, I wouldn't make any assumptions right now with the NCAA and rulings and things going on, so he's not officially back with the team, but they've had a lot of conversations with a lot of guys, but nothing is official yet. Spears was primarily a special teamer during his Georgia career, played in 27 games over the past 2 seasons.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Arkansas added more depth in the secondary with Dartmouth transfer Sean Williams, 5'9", 190. He's a Tennessee native. He's 3-time All-Ivy League. He was a first-teamer this past season. He started 37 games over his 3 seasons there with Dartmouth. He's already on campus working out with the new team.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
Alex Brown will be Kentucky's assistant general manager. GM Pat Biondo stepped down from his position just ahead of fall camp. And so then assistant GM Pete Nocta was promoted, but that left his spot unopened. Now they filled it with Brown, who is a UT Arlington graduate. Actually started in media, working with Bleacher Report and some other outlets, worked for the NFL Network, and worked his way through. He actually spent a season at Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin in 2024, went to work for the NFL, the Shrine Bowl, and now is at Kentucky.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
And Ole Miss infielder Will Furness announced he is returning for a final season in Oxford. Of course, the federal court ruling earlier this month opened the door for Furness and Judd Utermark, by the way, to return for another season there in Oxford to play another season of baseball for Mike Bianco. Furness started all 64 games a season ago and was second on the team in batting average, RBI, and hits. Also had 9 homers and 12 doubles. Utermark led the team with a .309 batting average a season ago. They're both heading back to Oxford. All right, there you have it. That is around the SEC. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. I do want to, in about 45 minutes, I want to circle back to that story. So we just talked about the 2 Ole Miss baseball players that are returning, and Cole Spear, Kirby gave the update there. So I have been aggressively trying to get answers around LSU for what their plan is in the effect that the NCAA's appeal is denied of the injunction. And these 2022 players who have a year of eligibility are able to come back into college football. Like, what does that mean for LSU? I asked Lane Kiffin that question last week, and he gave me a very very ambiguous answer, only to say, like, we prepare for everything. And as I've learned more and more, this staff is the way that the player personnel staff has broken this down. Like, they have done incredible legwork and headway to find, like, what players would be available. A lot of them they already have scouting reports on, either from high school or from portal scouting reports. So they're very aware of who they think would be available, and if this goes through, who they'd be interested in, what positions they'd be interested in addressing. And I want to get to that because Pete Nakos tweeted about it earlier today, and there might be some movement coming up here, so we'll get to all that in about 45 minutes from right now. Okay, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. We will give you an update on the LSU men's basketball roster, which a lot of people have keen interest in. We'll do that next on AFR.
After further review.
Man, I was driving down the interstate today and was passing by Gordon McKernan's office and saw the big old billboard up there that Gordon's 60. I would assume that that's today, but it said happy 60th to Gordon McKernan. So a big shout out to G on his 60th birthday. Y'all shoot him a message or a tweet and wish him a happy birthday. And, of course, driving down the interstate, got to see all the Gordon billboards. And remember, the Get Gordon Billboard contest is live right now. You can win up to $2,000 in prizes if your billboard design wins. So go to getgordon.com/billboards, getgordon.com/billboards to enter your design today. Getgordon.com/billboards.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Well, I'm going to pivot here because there is a developing story. Breaking news, Pete Nakos over at On3 has reported that 16 college football players have been granted a temporary restraining order for a fifth year of eligibility, and among them is former LSU edge Jack Pyburn. So Pyburn is one of the players, and by the way, Jack Pyburn is currently in camp with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and had 2 sacks on Friday in their game against the Jets. It's also worth noting that in addition to Pyburn, former Ole Miss defensive lineman Xavier Harris, former Ole Miss safety Wydett Williams, and former Ole Miss tight end Daquan Wright have also been granted that TRO. Now, it obviously makes a lot of sense considering the fact that those guys played for Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss. Now, could they go back to Ole Miss? Potentially. However, the roster situation and numbers might work out. The money would have to work and all that stuff as well. So, I mean, I intended to do this in about 40 minutes from right now, but I'll do it now since this is out there. So, the Pyburn situation is an interesting one because he did take a signing bonus to sign with Tampa as a UDFA. I was told it was low six figures, maybe like 100, 150K, somewhere around that. And I have reached out, tried to get in touch with Jack. I understand he's in training camp, but, efforting, we'll put it to you that way. The fact that he's been granted a TRO tells you that he wants to keep open the possibility of coming back to school if he doesn't make the Bucs. The reason there's two sort of noteworthy events in the calendar we need to keep an eye on. Number one is August the 30th. So that's in 11 days. That's cut day in the NFL. Remember, there used to be a wave of cuts. They would cut after each preseason game. They don't do that anymore. They have one cut day after the third preseason game, and like all 32 teams have to cut down to get within 53-man roster limit. So in 11 days is cut day. Now, that's also 6 days before LSU plays Clemson. It would be really ambitious for someone unfamiliar with the defense to be on an NFL roster and then to transition back to school and then to be playing within 6 days. But Jack Pyburn played in this defense a year ago with Blake Baker as the coordinator. It's one of the great benefits of retaining the defensive coaching staff. That would be very seamless. Now, I mentioned a guy like Daquan Wright, who was the Ole Miss tight end a year ago. Now, obviously, LSU has Trey Green. But Daquan Wright had over 600 receiving yards last year at Ole Miss in this offense. It would be a seamless transition with Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss calling plays in an offense that he's already familiar with. There's a couple of things that are notable. Number one, as I mentioned there, is that Pyburn took money. I don't know if Daquan Wright did. Pyburn took money. Now, according to the NCAA rules, if you took money, you are ineligible. So the real question here, and it is unknown right now. They would have to get a ruling. Now, he's gotten the TRO, but certainly the NCAA is going to appeal. And they're in the process of appealing that the judge in Colorado is ruling. And so if the NCAA wins their appeal, then all of these players are not eligible. If the NCAA loses its appeal, then these players, in theory, would be eligible. Pyburn still, I think, is a little ambiguous because of the money. But this would be a big win for Pyburn. The other part of it is how many roster spots do you have? Now, I had a conversation with a staff member late last week, might have been over the weekend. Days run together sometime. But I was told that LSU had one roster spot available. One. Now, if you had multiple players, experienced players at positions of need that you could add, I would think you make it work. You figure out a way to make it work. But I can't think of a spot on LSU's entire roster where there's more of a need to add experienced bodies than the defensive line. I mean, you're looking at starting 2 true freshmen at defensive tackle, and you lost Gabe Relaford at edge. So you got a true freshman in the 2 deep. And I don't care that he's a 5-star. Like, you want that guy to be able to play for you. But you can add a guy that's played 4 years of college football and has been a productive player in the SEC, then you do it. So LSU has been very coy with the way they've handled this entire thing, and I understand it because, in large part, you don't know definitively what's going to happen yet. You don't know a timeline. So one date to watch is August 30th, cut day in the NFL. The other is when the NCAA's hearing goes through. We'll keep you posted.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Parish Restoration. Kill mold, remove odor, other harmful pathogens. ParishRestoration.com. ParishRestoration.com. Call Jim Woodworth and the gang. They'll always give you that free quote. ParishRestoration.com. It's mold remediation done right the first time. I tell you all the time, we live in the mold capital of the world. It's hot, it's humid, and it's wet. It's a breeding ground for mold. So if you start to notice like a wet spot on your ceiling or water intrusion in your house, chances are that didn't start with the rain that came today. It's probably been there as a slow leak for a while. That means you could have mold. And maybe you have mold and you're not sure if you do. Call Parish Restoration. They'll come out. They'll get you squared away. They'll knock it out. It's cost effective. It's efficient. It's effective. It's Parish Restoration. They'll spray their patented non-toxic dry fog treatment. Check them out online today at ParishRestoration.com, ParishRestoration.com, ParishRestoration.com.